All right, if we continue where we left off, that it's really important when we are in the scientific method, when we say test a hypothesis, it's a nice way of saying you do the fun part, the experiment. Okay, but I'm very picky that when you rate a hypothesis, it's not just a prediction. Okay, it's not just telling me something that you're predicting, it's also telling me why. Okay, so it's adding that ending because. So when you're developing your hypothesis, it needs to support what your experiment's trying to do. And I talked about how many times do we do the fun part, the experiment. Multiple times means anywhere from 3 to 5. That's what all good scientists do. I want to talk about these big words underlined in front of you: independent and dependent variables. When you are doing an experiment, or I do an experiment, variable means it's the one thing you're changing. Remember, I said you only want to change one variable. If I'm changing more than one, I'm not going to know why did the results happen because I changed more than one variable. I'm not going to be sure what caused those results. So we're going to talk about what's the difference between independent and dependent. Independent is that variable or the factor being changed, okay, in the experiment. It's what you're putting in, the one thing you are changing. Dependent variable is a nice way of saying what's measured. It's the results, the variable that might change because what the scientist changes. It's what you can measure. Independent is what you're putting in that you changed. Dependent is basically what you're measuring. So we look at a practice. Okay, see the scenario on the left? I did one for you. It says one chicken is injected with a growth hormone while another chicken is not injected. So the scientists set up an experiment trying to inject the chicken to see how they can get the chicken to grow. Both chickens are weighed after 1 year. They're trying to determine what hormone or medicine is going to cause that chicken to grow. The only thing they change, boys and girls, is the growth hormone or medicine. Therefore, that's the independent variable. Did that one for you. Dependent is what's measured. What did they measure to test their experiment? The weight of the chickens. Let's try number 2. A bug repellent is sprayed on one arm. The other arm is not sprayed. The number of bug bites is recorded after 2 hours. So they're trying to figure out which bug repellent is going to keep those pesky bugs away. So the only thing they change, boys and girls, is one arm was sprayed, the other arm was not sprayed. That would be our independent variable, what arm was sprayed. Dependent is what's being measured. Think about it. It is the number of bug bites. So therefore, that is the dependent variable. Let's try the next one. Javier sleeps 9 hours the night before a science exam. His twin sister has the same exam and only sleeps 6. Afterwards, they compare their scores. The one thing they're changing, boys and girls, is the hours of sleep. That is our independent variable. What are they measuring? Test scores. Therefore, that's the dependent variable. So independent variable, what you're putting in that is changed. Dependent, what you are measuring.